Hi, good morning. It is currently 6:06 in the morning. I just finished brewing a cup of coffee. I tried to film the whole process, but I don't know how that turned out. But I have my coffee here and I will read for an hour or so and then I will get ready to go to the office. Okay, let's go. Hopefully the light it's not that distracting. Oh, that was a jump scare. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day. It is 6:50 in the morning. Yesterday was a bit of a chaotic day, but I am happy that I managed to do everything that I planned to do. It was very busy at work, but hopefully today it's going to be chill because it's Friday. Yesterday I got my dentist appointment. This is probably the third or fourth appointment that I go to. A couple of weeks ago, I had like severe pain here on both sides, and I went to my first appointment, and lo and behold, on this side, it was my wisdom tooth that had to be removed. And last week I got that removed. I didn't feel anything during the extraction, but afterwards it was not that fun. It lasted like a couple of days, with like a bit of pain, and just couldn't eat properly because I couldn't like really chew. Hopefully from this point forward it's going to be okay. I went yesterday to just like get it checked to see how it's recovering, and it looks very well, so I'm happy with that. For today I want to go to my parents' house after work, and I will stay there for like a couple of days. Next week I have some time just off of work, so I'm going to stay with my parents for a while, and then I have to return in Bucharest for another dentist appointment. Let's talk about what I'm currently reading. These past couple of days, I've been reading A Tempest of Tea by Hafsah Faizal. I am halfway through this book, and in the beginning I really liked it, but now I'm seeing some things that I'm not that sure about. Obviously I will have to finish it to get my full, thoughts on it, but this book is about a heist. It is giving, Six of Crows Crooked Kingdom. It is giving Five Broken Blades by Mike Horland. One really interesting thing that I saw in the beginning chapters of this book, actually, let me see. I mainly read it on my Kobo, and there was a chapter. It says, Artie was already putting together their crew in her mind. She'd need Zine, of course, and their forger. She'd need Late's ability to blend in the shadows, and they would certainly need a man inside. So they need 5 people to perform this heist. In Five Broken Blades, as the name suggests, they need 5 people to do the thing that they want to do. In Six of Crows, as you can guess from the title, they need 6 people. Six of Crows, I think it came out in 2016 or 2017. So there's like a very big time difference between when that came out and when Five Broken Blades and A Tempest of Tea came out. And I'm just very curious, will we need 4 people to perform this kind of task in fantasy books in 10 years? The love interests, they were kind of, I don't want to say random, but they were very quick to develop feelings for each other, and it was kind of out of nowhere, or at least this is how I read it. So I'm curious to see where this goes. morning, everyone. It is the next day. It is Sunday today. Yesterday, I spent an insane amount of hours trying to edit my 40 minutes video of the mid-year book freakout tag. I think I spent like 2 hours trying to do a text animation for the title of that, but I am so happy with how it turned out. It's kind of humbling to hear yourself talk for probably more than 2 hours and trying to chop that down to something that's usable, let's say. Today, I want to do some more reading. I am trying to finish A Tempest of Tea. I am probably 60% or so, and it just seems very convenient, everything that's happening. They currently managed to break into the Ethereum. I'm not really sure how the name of that building is pronounced, but they managed to break in, and it just seems very fitting how they were able to do it. I'll see how it ends. I hope it's going to be good. I'm getting like a 3-star vibe, although I'm not that big on like star ratings because I kind of change my opinions as the time goes by and as I'm reading more. I hope I will be able to finish that today, and I will update the vlog soon. We see each other again. It is currently 8 in the evening. It is still Sunday. I have managed to finish A Tempest of Tea by Hafsah Faizal. This is a series, and I thought it is a standalone, and the ending is very open, which again makes sense for a series, but I was disappointed that it's not a standalone. I feel like a lot of books, or I should say a lot of fantasy books that are coming up nowadays are series or part of a series, and I just wish for like a good standalone. It definitely picks up around 70-75%. I was able to guess a lot of the plot twists, which I'm always happy about. The ending, there are still some things that are not solved, and obviously this will set in motion the mission for the next book. To quote All Stars 2 Detox, this book was not the best but not the worst. It was fine. I'm just hating on it because I feel like I read so many good heist inspired focused whatever books. I do have We Hand the Flame, We Free the Stars by the same author, which I heard a lot of good things about, so hopefully I will be able to read that duology sometime this year. Now for my next read, which I already started today because I finished with The Tempest of Tea early in the day, I have started Bride by Ali Hazelwood. As you can see, I have read 21% off of this book. It starts to move. Some things are set in motion. I think we have some kind of mystery to solve on top of like everything that's happening. I hope I'll be able to do more reading this evening, and I will probably see you tomorrow with my updates on Bride. Hi, good morning. It is currently 9:12. It is Wednesday, and I don't really remember when I last updated the vlog. I think it was on either Sunday or Monday. And when we last spoke, I think I told you that I started reading Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I have finished Bride yesterday. We were on a trip. Actually, no, we were just trying to escape the heat wave. We thought that going to the mountains would help that, but it was still really hot. So as I said, I have finished Bride. I read it on my Kobo. I do not have the physical version of this book. I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. Prior to this, I did not know anything about werewolf anatomy, and now I know a bit more. I don't know if I'm grateful for that or not, but it was really nice. The fantasy part and like the political kind of plot point, I really enjoyed. Also, there is a mystery thing going on. You are following Misery. That is the name of the main character. It is Misery. Was that really necessary, Ali? Probably not, but it is so on the nose that it's kind of fun. I also think that this book knows what it is. It is nothing serious. It is a paranormal romance between a vampire and a werewolf. It's not that deep. We follow Misery, who is a vampire and also a hacker. It's just like quirky. She enjoys eating peanut butter even though she doesn't really need to eat like food because she's a vampire. The main guy is Lo, who is a werewolf, and he is the alpha of his pack. And you can kind of foresee where the story goes, but it was just not that romance heavy. I think towards the end we got like really detailed scenes that, again, I don't know how I feel about. I understand the lore of knotting now, which thank you Ali Hazelwood for introducing me to knotting. This is also a forced marriage kind of trope because Misery is the daughter of the leader of the vampires, or the vampires in the region that they are from. He is telling her, hey, you need to marry this guy because we want a treaty or an alliance with the werewolves, and she accepts, and we don't really know why because he's not forcing her. She's very set on the fact that she doesn't want to marry this guy, and all of a sudden she's like, yeah, let's do it. We kind of follow along to see why she accepted, what's really going on, and you have this plot that's bigger than our main characters, which again, I think really works in this story because I don't typically enjoy romances that are just the romance and nothing is going on, but this book has substance. There are things that are independent from the romance. You have really nice sibling relationships that are explored in this book, and I just thought it was enjoyable. This was my first Ali Hazelwood book. I'm also curious to read some other books from her. I know that this is kind of the only one that's in this genre of paranormal romance and like fantasy plot, but if you have a recommendation of another Ali Hazelwood book that you absolutely loved, that's, you know, not just romance, there are other things going on, please comment down below because I would like to read that at some point. Also yesterday, because we were on a road trip for the entirety of the day, I have started Carmilla, the First Vampire. This is a graphic novel. I have not read a graphic novel in a while. I think the last one that I read was either Heartstopper Volume 5 or Sheets. I'm not really sure if I read Sheets this year or in December, but I think it was this year. I don't remember. Anyway, it's not that important. I'm reading this, as you saw, on my iPad because it uses, I don't know what's the name of this font, but it uses, let's focus. It uses this font, and for some reason it is kind of hard to read for me when I'm reading it like this, so I actually have to, you know, zoom in to see what's going on. It is I think, a sapphic story about Carmilla, who, as the title suggests, it is the first vampire. She's, before Dracula and Nosferatu, and I don't really know where the story is going because, as I said, I started this yesterday and I read 40 pages or so, 43 pages to be exact. I'm currently at 39%, so I will finish this in the next half an hour or hour. I think this video is turning into me reading vampire books for however long this is, which, not complaining, I hope this is enjoyable. That being said, let's do some more reading and I will update the vlog when I'm finished. I have finished Carmilla. I think it took me like half an hour to read the remaining part of it. What a unique kind of story. I don't think I've ever heard stories about, or like read stories about vampires that are originating from Chinese mythology. This story of Carmilla, it is based in I think they mentioned Jiangsu, which are zombie-like vampires that were popularized in I think it was in the cinema space, mostly in Hong Kong, and I find that really fascinating. This book also explores individual identity and also cultural identity. It explores racism, it explores gender. As you can probably guess from the title, we have Carmilla, who is the vampire, but it's not explicitly said who she is in the story. You can guess from when she's introduced, but it's never explicitly said or shown until the last couple of pages. And you have this girl, her name is Athena, who has this kind of obscure family past. Her parents were involved in an accident when she was really young, and we don't really know exactly what caused that. This was enjoyable to read and see how the color palettes also influenced the story. I've always been fascinated by color and how it affects stories and our understanding of them. I don't know why. I think it's the pastels, especially the purples and pinks and this very specific shade of green, this shade of green here, that's really reminding me of the witch graphic novels or comics, I should say. There is this magical place where they got their powers. I think it's called Kendrickar, and this color palette in Carmilla is reminding me a lot of how Kendrickar is portrayed in the witch graphic novels. This being said, this is the end of today's reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching, for being with me as I'm trying to figure this whole YouTube thing out. I have read 3 books that are vampire centric, let's say, and out of all of them, if I would have to rank them, I think Bride will be number 1 that I enjoyed the most out of all of these. Then number 2 would be Carmilla, and number 3 would be A Tempest of Team. Let me know if you read any of these books, if you enjoyed them or not, and see you in the next video. Bye!